Ivory carving of a skull and coiled snake with carnelian eyes. Japan, Edo period, 1860. Wonderful 2,000-year-old sapphire ring presumably belonged to Roman Emperor Caligula, thought depicting his fourth wife Caesonia. An early example of a successful cranioplasty, Peru, ca. 400 CE. The patient survived, as evidenced by the well-healed in situ cranioplasty made from a gold inlay, now on display at the Gold Museum of Peru and Weapons of the World in Lima. Prague's astrological clock is the oldest still functioning clock in the world, 1410. Detail of the Hercules armor of the Emperor Maximilian II of Austria. Made in 1555, it's now on display at the Kunsthistorisches Museum in Vienna. In the small village of Nashtafan, Iran, some of the oldest windmills in the world still spin. Made of natural clay, straw, and wood, the windmills have been milling grain for flour for an estimated 1,000 years. A 17th-century Ottoman three-mast tent made of silk and gilded leather. Now on display at the Turkish Chamber in the Dresden Armory. 2,300 years old Scythian woman's boot preserved in the frozen ground of the Altai Mountains. Michelangelo's Moses is a marble sculpture made in 1513–15. One of the many details of this masterpiece is one very small muscle in the forearms that contracts only when lifting the pinky, otherwise, it is invisible. Moses is lifting the pinky, therefore the tiny muscle is contracted. Bowl with fish, Iran, probably Kashan, late 13th, mid-14th century. A Viking-era ring inscribed with the words for Allah, found in the grave of a woman who was buried 1,200 years ago in Burka, 25 kilometers west of modern-day Stockholm. The ring constitutes a unique material evidence of direct contact between the Vikings and the Abbasid Caliphate. An 8-mile-long canvas filled with Ice Age drawings of extinct animals has been discovered in the Amazon rainforest. An ancient Egyptian gold ring with a carnelian bezel in form of a cat. From the Third Intermediate Period, 1070 to 712 BC, it's now in the collection of the British Museum. Samurai helmet, kabuko, shaped like an octopus. 1700s, Japan. Curious artifacts, Hitler's telephone, one of the deadliest weapons of all times, 1000 by 562. Small sculpture of death with a bow made in 1520 Germany. Ratto di Proserpina is a large Baroque marble sculptural group by Italian artist Gian Lorenzo Bernini, executed between 1621 and 1622. Bernini was only 23 years old at its completion. Now on display at the Galleria Borghese in Rome. A Roman bathhouse still in use after 2,000 years in Conchila, Algeria. A gun hidden within a Bible, made for Francesco Morosini, Doge of Venice, 1619–1694. The owner of the Bible could pull the silk bookmark to shoot while the book was still closed. Now on display at the Museo Correre in Venice. Elaborate Ottoman-era birdhouses resembling miniature palaces and mosques. Stockings, 1830, cotton/silk. An amateur treasure hunter with a metal detector turned up a medieval, gold ring that was set with a sapphire stone in Sherwood Forest, haunt of the legendary, or real, Robin Hood. Experts have examined the ring and believe it may date to the 14th century. Abuna Yemata Guh is a monolithic church located in the Tigray region, Ethiopia. It is situated at a height of 2,580 meters, its entrance is highlighted by a red circle, and has to be climbed on foot to reach. It is notable for its wall paintings dating back to the 5th century. Crystal spearhead found in a 5,000-year-old megalithic tomb in Spain. The tomb had the remains of 25 individuals, several of whom had consumed a poisonous substance. An Inuit otter amulet, engraved in pigmented ivory, c. 1870–1880. Chand Bauri, the largest and deepest step well in India. It consists of 3,500 narrow steps over 13 stories and extends 30 m into the ground. The oldest parts of the step well date from the 8th century, while the upper stories with the columned arcade around it were built in the 18th century. The Da Vinci globe, dated 1504, is the oldest known globe to show the New World. Engraved with immaculate detail on two conjoined lower halves of ostrich eggs. Oldest surviving pair of Levis jeans, 1879.